All right, we are expecting to hear from President-elect Donald Trump in the next hour. This as his attorneys are trying to block the release of special counsel Jack Smith's upcoming report on 2 of his dismissed criminal cases. Joining me now is CBS News political reporter Olivia Rinaldi to talk more about it. So, Olivia, what else did Trump's attorneys say in this letter?
Yeah, good morning to you, Vlad. It's good to be with you. This letter that was released last night from Trump's attorneys to Attorney General Merrick Garland pleads with him to not release this final report from Jack Smith. Now, this report is about the 2 investigations that Jack Smith had into President-elect Donald Trump when he was out of his presidency related to the January 6th efforts to overturn the election, but also the Florida classified documents case. Now, both of those cases had been dismissed, but Smith was still expected to release this report before Trump was set to retake office. And we know that Trump's attorneys had been reviewing the final report over the last several days. And after that, they then released this letter pleading with Garland not to ultimately release this report. They argue 2 things in that letter. They say, 1, that Jack Smith should be fired from the special counsel position, arguing that he should be removed for even suggesting this course of action because of his, quote, political motivations. But then they also say that this report should not be released because they have an incoming attorney general who should have to review this. That would be Pam Bondi if she were to be confirmed by the Senate. So a lot of arguments that they are making there to prevent this potentially damaging report from being released.
So Jack Smith, as you know, Olivia, actually responded to the filing this morning. What do you have to say?
Yeah, in a court filing this morning, he said that the office was preparing to release the classified report that could have, quote, prosecutorial decisions. However, they say that this report is ultimately up to Attorney General Merrick Garland to decide whether or not he will release it. And they say that that volume won't be released, that decision won't happen, rather, until Friday, January 10th at 10 a.m. So a lot for them to consider over the next couple of days, but ultimately it is up to Biden's Department of Justice head, Attorney General Merrick Garland, to make that decision on whether or not this report will be released at all. And I should note that Friday, January 10th, that's just 10 days until Trump is set to take office, really unearthing a lot of perhaps new information that they could have found that had not been released as a result of those several investigations.
The president-elect, Olivia, as you know, also faces a sentencing this Friday in that hush money case, despite his attempts to stop it. What are we hearing on that front?
Yeah, Friday is going to be a very busy morning for Trump's several court cases that have unfolded. We know that Judge Merchan in the New York hush money trial case denied Trump's request to delay that sentencing. In that case, we know he was found guilty on 34 counts of felonies back in May. So this sentencing has been delayed twice now. Judge Merchan put it on the books for this Friday at 9:30 in the morning. Trump can appear physically in person or virtually. And he's been working to delay that decision. Judge Merchan has said he's still holding it on the calendars, but we are expecting Trump's lawyers at any point to appeal to the appellate court in New York, saying that they are trying to appeal the case and the conviction entirely. And because of that, the sentencing should not take place. So, Vlad, I expect it'll be very busy come Friday morning between the hours of 9 and 11 a.m. with a lot of news coming out of Trump's court cases.
Yeah, make sure you book some time for us, Olivia, because we're certainly going to want to talk with you. Thank you very much.